Student protests erupt all across the nation, causing politicians to become reactionary monsters, causing politicians and rich donors to become reactionary monsters, which they always were. It's not about trust. You have the politics for Jonesy for Clementine. Lol. Yeah, I know. Breaking Bread Enjoyer. First time viewer here. What's your take on Australia? Love Australia. Love Shreya. Didn't you say no stream today? How come you spoil us today, gaming? I'm going to fucking video game myself. I'm gonna do it. What the fuck? Why are there still people that are like, what do you mean? I thought there was no stream today. What's happening? What the fuck's going on? What the fuck is I never said no stream today. Why the fuck are people saying this? I'm losing my goddamn mind. Student protests are up all across the nation, causing politicians and rich donors to become reactionary monsters. And Lolo giving us the public defender side of crime and poverty. Trump, hush money trial, and more. Plus, we go break cars and stuff later. This was quite an informative panel on the current sit-in in Gaza. If you're interested, no. I said a joke yesterday, and it was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. You should never say jokes. Chatters are conflating your no stream because of Pecker joke and you saying Rage Cage tomorrow. You never said no stream because of Rage Cage. You are right. I checked the VOD. I never said those things. I never said no stream. What the fuck? Why is it Aaron talking crime, poverty? Unhinged story real quick. A little drama today. Majority Report got annoyed at Anna and Jank crime and housing takes and where Anna gets her info from. I guess really not drama since this is about a substantive topic. That's the least shocking thing I've ever heard, especially because I too am annoyed with them, with the things that they say, and it frustrates me, especially because I love my uncle. I've known Anna for 20 years at this point. You know what I mean? These are people that I've known my whole life pretty much, and to see their perspective shift so dramatically, for them to stray away from the causes, the ideologies, the things that they advocated for, you know, just sad. Definitely a sad state of affairs. But I am, after all, an uncle lover, and therefore the uncle-nephew dynamic is unshakable. No matter what you say, no matter what happens, the uncle-nephew dynamic remains. Okay, anyway, here, let's blast off and let's get started. What is this? Can you outdo E-Rob in this? Wow. He really dude, that's rage right there. That's just, it's really scary to see. That's really scary to see, man. Are you a crier? When was the last time you cried? Have you ever cried on stream? Have you always been proficient in maintaining emotional control? You said you were going to finish Small Business Owner Simulator today, bro. No, I wasn't. Shut the fuck up. Take a day off. Suck my dick. Don't ever do that again. You know everyone's fucking trying to bait me, and you look for a different bait. You're like, oh yeah, people are being annoying in this one particular way. Let me be annoying in a different way. That's not the way to go. Okay, that is not the way. Don't do that. Have you watched Civil War movie yet? No, I haven't. Make sure to tell people who aren't you and Will to stretch before rage rooming. It's a workout and it'll fuck them up. Yeah. The Macy's, thank you for the playlist. Yeah, let's start off with, I did watch Shogun. It was great. HVAC is supposedly fixed, but I don't know. I feel like the downstairs is still pretty goddamn not cold enough. It's a 73 degrees here. Don't forget to blast off. I did. Anyway, Civil War is a good action movie, but the politics are incoherent. Yeah. As a politics enjoyer and as a politics understander, I fear that I will not enjoy the Civil War movie, specifically because I will not enjoy its politics. Because you didn't hire a Midwestern Republican HVAC small business owner? True. Wear good shoes of the rage room. I stepped on broken glass and it sliced my foot. Canadian politics is a meme. 8-second here in the replies. The Ford government House leader Paul Calandra just got up in the legislature over the keffiyeh ban and really said, I don't need to take lessons from the Ontario NDP on marginalized people. I'm Italian. That's sick.
any lessons from the leader of the opposition when it comes to how people, marginalized people, feel. I'm an Italian Canadian. I don't take any.
My goat. Dude, finally someone is standing up for Italian rights out there. Speaking of politics, I found out I enjoy MGS3 on a different level now that I understand and follow politics. Ooh, that's cool. Can't wait to play the remaster. Apparently the EU banned slave labor products and now people are worried they won't get chocolate anymore. That's a bit of a self-report. I heard civil war is more so about being a war correspondent than the actual politics surrounding the war. Yeah. Are you going to talk about the mass grave they found close to a hospital in Gaza? First of all, it's not a hospital. It's multiple. Secondly, I did talk about it yesterday. Lastly, I don't really understand if people are coming in like antagonistically to act like I don't cover these sorts of things all the fucking time, every single goddamn day. Half the time you know about this shit is because you came in here and you heard it from me covering it. But, or if I'm just like if I'm just so brain broken that I'm attributing some level of antagonism to the way that that chatter is asking that question. UK also passed the bill. Rwanda, UK, Rishi Sunak government in the UK has officially passed an insane bill where they just immediately deny entry into any asylum seekers, no matter what the legal valid claims are, and ship their asses to Rwanda. They pay the Rwandan government for this process, and then they get processed in Rwanda potentially, which I find insane. I find that unconscionable. I find that ridiculous. I don't know what to say about it. It's just fucking gross. It's a typical gross shit. It's also surprisingly unpopular from what I understand. Like even the British people, even like racist British people are like, I don't know about this, man. This kind of makes us look really shitty. So yeah, like, I mean, it is the American policy as well from the Trump era, for the record. It's not even a joke. That is what Trump did. That's the whole like First Nation Act was that. If you're coming from any country whatsoever, you have to get processed in Mexico. You know, sorry. Hassan, how come you don't react to Piers Morgan anymore? Because there's so much other shit going on, bro. What are you Piers Morgan in the chat? Anyway. Yeah, the Tories have zero chance of winning the next election, so they're going full fash while they're in office. Great stuff. Yeah. I did see the photo. I did see the video of the Israeli dude getting lightly injured, apparently, for trying to take down this Palestinian flag. It's kind of a beautiful metaphor for Israel's policy towards Palestinians. Yeah, but it kind of sucks because, like, it has a sad ending. And the sad ending is that he was only lightly injured. So I liked it more when I didn't know what the outcome was. You know what I mean? Because the video itself is pretty funny, especially considering that his like wife or whoever this woman is that is filming does not even react to it. Like she's just like, oh, well, like it was shocking. It's like, oh, well, whatever. Like it's a real David moment for all the Walking Dead heads out there. It was a real David moment. You know what I mean? Like we're talking Kate watching David get fucking slaughtered and being like, not that happened. It hasn't happened in the game, but you can tell when Kate is just like trying not to be around David at all. Anyway, no diverse attorney fees. Yeah. Anyway, don't play. This is definitely not okay. There's a lot of blood. Is there? I only see the explosion. And it turns out he wasn't even like actually killed. When he walks towards it, she says stuff along the lines of, we're taking down this disgusting rag. And once it blows up, she's like, oh, I guess it must have been a mine. That's what I mean. It's like, what is happening? Why is she so casual? Yeah, he turns into a red cloud. No, man, it's not actually fucking, it's just, it's most likely just whatever the fucking explosives were made of. Bro, he wouldn't. Guys, you think if he turned into a fucking red cloud of mist that he would be lightly injured? Like he fucking, apparently he like walks up and they get away, they walk away from it. Like that's not pink mist. It looks like it. It looks like it, but it's just clay. Like that, what you think is blood is not actually blood. It's clay. It's not actually blood. Which was, you know, it's just, it was fun while it lasted. This version, please. Hello, my enemies. Oh, it's Ali Mortada. This guy is the funniest dude of all time. Please see therapist. This is not normal. Yeah, Ali Mortada is a Al Mayadeen guy. He's pretty fucking funny. He's also pretty yacked. I don't know. He's just like a very interesting dude. I don't know what is in this video, so I don't know if I want to show this video to you guys. Okay?
Guys, you must all see a therapist. This is not normal. When you see anything, and he kicked the Palestinian flag and he blow up and go travel to God. This is not normal. I think no other.
Anyway, Tampa Bay DeSantis migrant flights. What? By the way, Smotrich finally went through with the de facto legalizing a mind-blowing 68 outposts in the West Bank with around 25,000 settlers. This raises them to the same standards as recognized settlements, integrating them into the state infrastructure. Zero international coverage of this massive development. Yes, because that is by design. Okay, nothing that Israel does in the West Bank ever gets like a genuine amount of coverage. I will say this. I think shit that the Israeli government does in the West Bank gets more critical coverage inside of Israel than the rest of the world. In the rest of the world, we don't even talk about it. We don't even think about it. We don't even talk about it. It rarely gets coverage. It does. That doesn't mean that it doesn't get any coverage at all. I mean, there's a documentary every now and then. There's an Al Jazeera piece every now and then. But overall, I think this is something that is often discussed more in something that's discussed more in Israeli media than it is in American media and Western media. It's so objectively illegal. It is so obviously unacceptable. It's just, there's nothing to discuss about it. It's unconscionable. It's rest of the world, America and Europe. Yes, bro, I'm talking about the West. I'm talking about the Western world. That's why I specified with the Western world. You want to know why? Because I don't know what level of material support Uganda is promising the state of Israel or even fucking the Palestinians. Yes, that is why I'm talking about the parties that have an ownership stake in what goes on in Israel. Okay, hello. Sorry for not offering more third worldist coverage to my Maoist friends from Iowa. Okay, one day you will get all of the global South coverage you need. Okay, I hate these fucking LARPers sometimes. I live in the United States of America. I know American politics. Hassan, that's racist. Why is that racist? Yeah, it gets covered, especially when Israelis are injured. For example, settlers broke the fingers of a 74-year-old Yediot cameraman in recent pogroms. But bro, 90% of the articles in the Ynet are just like the IDF spokesperson responded, we're taking it very seriously. Sorry. I know. Yeah. So, I didn't think you were streaming today. Nice surprise. I'm gonna fucking go kick a Palestinian flag in the West Bank until I turn into this. But this time it's not Clay, it's me, okay? Oh my God. Are people joking? Like, I can't tell. I can't tell if people are being serious or not. I can't. I'm losing my fucking mind, bro. I'm losing it. It's just like, oh, what a nice surprise. Hassan streaming like he has 365 fucking days of the year for the past 6 years. I'm shocked to find out that Hassan is streaming yet again at the exact same time, at the exact same fucking place that he is every single fucking day for the past 6 fucking years. Oh my God. What's next? Shocked to find out that at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. I didn't realize it worked like that. I have been closing my eyes and plugging my fucking ears and not really paying attention, didn't realize it, or because maybe you were. I made one fucking joke, dude. I made one joke. It was one random fucking joke in the middle of the goddamn day where I said, oh, I won't be making it tomorrow because the fucking person's name was Pecker. Okay? His name was David Pecker. Obviously, I'm fucking joking.
win the election.
And people literally thought it was serious and just genuinely are like, I'm shocked that you're streaming because you said you will not be streaming tomorrow.
In 2016. We'll hear more from Pecker tomorrow.
Pecker?
Trump's lawyers,
what?
of course, are claiming that there was nothing criminal at all.
Wait, what? Anyway, the 3-minute ad break is upon us. Guys, it's really awkward that I won't be live streaming tomorrow because I have some stuff I need to do. This is it. This literally was the reason why, oh my God, when I say Twitch is the most autistic platform, okay, in general, just the most neurodivergent platform in general, this is proof. There is no better proof that, like, there are at least 1,000 to 2,000 people from the 23,759 people that were watching there that unironically were like, oh, he's not streaming tomorrow. How the fuck do you guys... Wait, so you won't be streaming tomorrow? Oh my God. 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 I can't tell. I can't tell what's going on. I genuinely don't understand what the fuck's happening. I can't tell if that's a joke. Oh my God. Please tell me that's a fucking joke. Oh my God. I genuinely don't know anymore. At first, I would have thought, haha, funny joke. Nowadays, I don't know. I'm very obviously making a joke about how the fucking key witness is Pecker, the one talking today. Oh, that was my fault. I should have never made a joke. That was really fucked up of me. I will be, one, I recognize that jokes are counter-revolutionary. Two, I recognize that jokes are what the lumpenprole engage with. I recognize that it's morally degenerate. I recognize that it's perverse. I apologize for ever attempting to make a joke. It was really fucked up. It was really fucked up of me. Jokes are ableist. Many people do not have the capacity to comprehend humor. And I will learn from this lesson. And yes, jokes are an unjustifiable hierarchy. I apologize for it. Let's continue. Let's talk about Israel preparing for a possible ground assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah.
As Israel prepares for a possible ground assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Deborah Pattis in East Jerusalem with more on that part of the story. Deborah, good morning to you.
Good morning. For more than 2 months, Israel has threatened to send troops into Rafah, but even without such an operation, it is still under daily bombardment.
Explosions in...
Yes, I blasted off, chatters. Yes, I did. I am streaming today, okay? Jesus Christ, what is happening? I do my very best on every fucking outlet that I exist on, where I try to notify people, and yet it's just like people don't get it.
In Rafah, hitting the tents of displaced Palestinians pressed up along the border with Egypt. Some of them had only just got there. Nobody in the world has had to run from death, said Abu Imad, only to find death chasing them again. Under pressure at home over U.S. policy on the war, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said they are investigating allegations of human rights abuses by Israel in Gaza.
Do we have a double standard? The answer is no.
The answer is no. Dude, come on. Who is that for, really? Like, who the fuck believes that? The only people that believe that America doesn't have a glaringly obvious double standard for Israel are people who already love Israel. And even most of there's like 8 people, bro. 8 fucking people who don't believe that. I think the people that believe that America doesn't have a double standard with Israel are like very specific, extremely online, Reddit adjacent, NATO loving liberals. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's anyone else out there, like, because those who are ultra nationalist Israel defenders think there is a double standard with Israel. That double standard is anti-Semitism. Biden is not personally executing Palestinian children, and therefore he's anti-Semitic, right? Like, those who are super far right on Israel already think that Biden is anti-Semitic and not a valuable ally to Israel, not a good enough ally to Israel. So those guys are already fucking gone. They're insane. And then I guess, like, on the other side, there are people who find the truth and recognize that there is a massive double standard. Okay, there's a massive double standard with the way that we treat Israel versus the way we treat anybody else, really. There's double standard in the sense that like we don't even fucking treat ourselves with the same lack of scrutiny as we treat Israel. Like Israel does Abu Ghraib like literally live in real time on TikTok every fucking day, okay? When we did it and that shit got leaked, we were like, okay, we got to shut this down. Sorry, my bad. You know what I mean? Not to say that America is good by any metric, okay? But I'm trying to explain to you something. Israel is doing Abu Ghraib all the time, like literally nonstop and in broad daylight, bragging about it, putting it on TikTok, going, look how good this is. I am doing this to terror babies, like making fucking trending sounds and shit. And then America's like, yeah, no, it's fine. We don't even do that for our military. Hasanabi, Zionist lady explaining reality to me said, the New York Times said there were a bunch of rapes and everyone knows New York Times is anti-Israel. That's what I mean. These guys are like, the ones who are ultra-nationalists are already far gone. This statement, there is no double standard with Israel, is specifically for like Brianna Wu and maybe like 20 other people who are super invested in kind of trying to make Biden out to be this like peaceful liberal dove whose hands are tied.
The US is also looking at blacklisting the IDF's Netzach Yehuda battalion, made up of ultra-Orthodox soldiers, for a number of alleged human rights violations in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. The unit was implicated in the death of a 78-year-old Palestinian-American, Omar Assad, in 2022. Mamdou Abu Ibud was detained by the unit with Assad and described how he died after being bound, blindfolded and abandoned in the freezing cold. First on the scene afterwards, Dr. Islam Abu Zahir.
He is old man, he is obese, he can't walk probably. He didn't make any kind of risk for us soldiers.
In Israel, a somber Passover holiday has begun. Relatives of hostages still in captivity burnt a symbolic Passover table outside the home of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, accusing him of failing their loved ones.
The mere suggestion that the US could blacklist an IDF unit has angered Israel, with Defense Minister Gallant saying nobody will teach us about values and morals. Tony?
Yeah, certainly not without 130 families waiting for their loved ones still in captivity in Gaza. Deborah, thank you very much.
Bro, how is that the final note, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. We're talking about Israel potentially invading Rafah, and he's like, yeah, my heart goes out to the people. Bro, they died, okay? They didn't die. They got murdered. You know who murdered them? Not Hamas, Israel. Israel murdered them in its endless murderous rampage that it has been engaging in, that you are currently covering for the first half of the fucking thing that you were covering. Okay? It's crazy. It's crazy to sign off and be like, yeah, my heart goes out to the real victims, the family members of the hostages, not understanding that like the perpetrator in that situation is still very much Israel. It's so odd. It's a very odd way to cover that story. Anyway, tensions are, however, rising as classes go online at Columbia amidst the protests. We are going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking a lot about the student protest stuff because obviously it's one of those issues that like everybody loves. Campus craze, campus crazies, you know, free speech on college campuses, all this kind of stuff is like very salient, a better word for it. And it's something that the news loves talking about. And it's also a phenomenal distraction away from the major point of contention here, which is Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza. Israel's doing a genocide. Israel, when it's not doing a genocide, is still an apartheid regime. Both of those things are completely unacceptable. They're inhumane and must be put an end to. But of course, you know, as mass graves are being uncovered around hospitals in the Gaza Strip, as Israel's pulled out of certain areas, in an effort to invade Rafah, which was the final area that all the millions of remaining Gazans were pushed into. You know, the media, of course, will hyper focus on this dumb shit. And not only will they hyper-focus on this dumb shit in productive ways to go, hey, man, the kids are all right. Let's listen to what they have to say. Seems like they're actually correct. Seems like they're on the right side of history again, you know, like they were during the anti-Vietnam War protests. They were on the right side back then as well. They were on the right side of the anti-war protests during the Afghanistan invasion, during the Iraq invasion, again and again and again and again. They've always been on the right side, which we fucking love looking back at 20, 30, 40, 50 years later and going, they were so fucking smart. They were so brave for doing that. We love them. We love them for doing that. But right now, fuck them. Let's kill them right now. Right now, while they're doing it, we should kill them. We should fucking Kent State them over and over and over and over again. We send in the National Guard. Send in the National Guard. Send in the police. Send in drones immediately. It's like so funny that there are dudes who are literally being like, let's do Israel shit to American college students on American soil that are criticizing Israel doing Israel shit in Israel. It's insane. Making me lose my goddamn mind.
Widening unrest at college campuses across the country amid the Israel-Hamas war. More than 150 people arrested protesting at NYU overnight, and security heightening at Columbia. Stephanie Ramos is there and joins us live right now. Good morning to you, Stephanie.
There's something also very funny about this entire process where, like, people are either hysterically or in a very cynical way trying to be like, these students who are protesting against the apartheid, against the genocide, are the Nazis, which includes, of course, Jewish students as well, and that they are harming the safety and security of our Jewish students, which, once again, ironic because there are Jewish voices that are at the helm of these anti-Israel protests. It's crazy. Everybody's Hamas, bro. Mark Ruffalo fell for the bait. Fuck the media. I cannot begin to tell you how angry I get at these fucking squishy libs who constantly go, oh no, did they find a placard that said Hamas is awesome and we love Hamas? Well, throw the whole protest away. Anti-Semitism is unacceptable. It's like, what are you saying, bro? Why would you ever capitulate to the other side's cynical attempts at trying to bastardize valid anti-war protests? It makes me so mad. It makes me so fucking mad. Think, man. Think for like 3 seconds. What do you think is going on here? Do you think it's all of these students, including Jewish students, that are just like getting together and being like, yeah, we love anti-Semitism. We love anti-Semitism. It's our favorite thing to do. That's why we're so up in arms. I hate that. Why the fuck? What are that anti-Semitic accent? Me not think you like Jew, says Fettermans. Oh my God, it's John Fetterman. Oh my God. It's John Fetterman. Oh my God. Me no like Palestine. We need to sanction Gaza. Stop calling October 7 a protest. This Jew hatred has gone too far. Support Israel today. Oh my God, John Fetterman. We have Senator Fetterman in the chat. I'm not banning him because I feel like it's fucked up to ban the senator. He's doing text-to-speech, bro. He's trying. He's trying his best. Senator John Fetterman is trying his fucking best. For those who are unfortunately unable to understand, that's a joke. We're not being serious. That's not actually Senator John Fetterman. That's someone portraying themselves as Senator John Fetterman in the chat. Like he is a victim of a stroke and that's why he's like supporting Israel unconditionally, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's continue.
Robin, good morning. It is the first day of Passover, a major Jewish holiday, and there is escalating tension here on campus at Columbia University among Jewish students, ramping up pressure on the school's president to break up these demonstrations.
Overnight, tensions boiling over as pro-Palestinian protests spread to more college campuses.
You have been warned by New York University to leave the area.
Police in riot gear taking down this encampment at New York University, arresting more than 150 people, including students and faculty. The protesters engaging in a standoff with authorities after being ordered to vacate the venue. Campus is on edge as mobilizations against the conflict persist at some of the nation's leading colleges and universities. At Yale, at least 47 students were arrested during a protest. At the University of Michigan, a crowd supported dozens of student protesters who set up tents in the middle of campus. In California, these students barricaded themselves in a building at California Polytech. And in Boston, students from MIT, Tufts, and Emerson also set up pro-Palestinian encampments. Security heightened at Columbia University, where student demonstrators pitched tents at the center of campus. The encampments still in place this morning. Classes there going virtual Monday. University President Manoush Shafiq authorized the NYPD to make arrests last week.
They informed us that they had students who were trespassing. They asked us to come onto campus to take action, and we did.
Demonstrators demanding institutions divest from companies with ties to Israel. Columbia PhD student Linnea Norton tells us she was one of the arrested and just wants her voice to be heard.
We were all just sitting cross-legged together in a circle, and then the NYPD came in and arrested us one by one, immediately zip-tied us with our hands behind our backs.
Tensions have been mounting at universities since the Israel-Hamas conflict began last October. Many Jewish students telling us they don't feel safe on campus.
It makes me feel fucking dope seeing so many young college students be on the right side of history and unconditionally and unequivocally voice their support for the Palestinians who are being ruthlessly slaughtered, and doing it in a way where they are also trying to refocus the attention directly on the real victims, the Palestinians that are being ruthlessly slaughtered in Gaza. It's awesome. I had a conversation, as you guys know, yesterday alongside Alex Lol Overruled, who is a Columbia alumni. I talked to the current Columbia students. The video is available on my YouTube, talking with students in the Columbia protests, where they talked about what their goals are and how they would like the Columbia University to divest from the state of Israel. Okay? This is what many college students are demanding all around the world. They had a very similar thing. We had a very similar thing happen in the Melbourne protests as well when I was in Melbourne. And we went to the pro-Palestine protests. As you guys saw, there was a QR code where they were asking or demanding people to also divest, getting their universities to divest from Israel. I learned this morning that college students were explicitly in support of for Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Cong. I thought they just wanted the war to end, not just explicitly supporting Vietnamese communists. No, they were. No, of course. Yeah. They literally were like, no, we are pro Viet Cong, we are pro Ho Chi Minh. Yes, explicitly and unequivocally pro communist, pro Ho Chi Minh, pro Viet Cong across the board. Anti-war protests in the U.S. are famous in 1960s, 70s. Now come back, the regime oppresses those as expected to show us more Palestine flags like you show the Viet Cong flags. Yeah. Any more pictures that clearly show Westerners raising the NLF flag? I grew up in American education and they never showed us these pictures, just the students that were protesting. Yeah, the Asian sensation. I guess you didn't know this, but the HBO show Sympathizer did a shit job of showing this. Yeah, it's it doesn't. It makes it seem like they're all of the fucking pro Viet Cong, all the pro like North Vietnamese Liberation Front people were actually just LARPy so far in the Sympathizer. But yeah, I mean, this has always been a pro Ho Chi Minh. This has always been a pro Ho Chi Minh community in general. Obviously, he also was an Ameribu as well. If you are a communist and also an Ameribu, then I will have a special place in my heart for you regardless. And also, he got a dub, so that's pretty good. Not many of those in the long history of real existing socialism and anti-imperialism. Well, there's a good amount of dubs there, actually, and anti-imperialism. So, don't even think about it. Do we have the flags ready for kickoff? When's the war? When we go to war with China? I feel like if that happens, it's not going to be, flags are not going to cut it. But yeah, the fact that people like are trying to say that this is unconscionable, unacceptable, inappropriate in 2024 is pretty funny, though. It's literally like being upset. It's got the same vibes as being upset at the like American Revolution. You know what I mean? Like, wow, what did they do? Those guys were really fucked up for not capitulating to the British Empire. You know what I mean? How dare they? Can't believe they were waving the fucking stars and bars, dude. What the fuck is that about? That's really messed up. And it's like, what are you saying? They won. We know it was bad. We know it was unconscionable. We know it was literally completely unacceptable. How are you going back when you have the benefit of hindsight and relitigating things from the wrong side? It's not like it's 1960, bro. What the fuck do you mean? I genuinely... Stars and bars isn't the U.S. flag, it's the Confederate flag. You're right. Sorry. I should have said the U.S. flag specifically. I know. Stars and bars is unfortunately a very cool way to reference the U.S. flag, even though it's not the U.S. flag, it's the Confederate flag. I do like the naming convention of stars and bars, so I fucked it up. But it does. Stars and stripes is how you say it in the U.S. flag. Stars and bars, the Confederate flag. But stars and bars sounds way cooler than stars and stripes. Stars and stripes just sounds kind of lame. Why are you, Hassan, Israel, not letting Kaya, Palestine, roam free and keeping her prisoner? Why can't Kaya, Palestine, have free roam, sovereign? And why is she being kept prisoner? Couple different reasons. One, because unfortunately, when she gets free roam and is not laying on that bed, she ends up laying on the floor, and that fucks up her elbows because she's really heavy. And it ends up creating hot spots on her elbows. Like it's just like it scabs, and it creates these like weird spots on her elbows where there's like a lot of pressure points. Put Kaya on a diet? No, she's fine. Like she's actually in great shape. It's just that, she can't. If you're genuinely wondering why, it's because it's not good for her.
How has this hit you, the demonstrations over the last couple of days?
It's not only like mentally exhausting. I found this past few days it's been like physically affecting me, and I got told that the Israeli flag is a Nazi flag.
New York.
Oh no, dude, that's crazy. What? You got told the Israeli flag is a Nazi flag? Oh shit, dude. Well, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't fucking fly the Nazi flag then, you know? That's what I feel like. I feel like so much of the conversation just kind of stays at the talking points and the feelings of some students over the actual arguments being made, over the actual harm that is being, that a lot of the pro-Palestinian students are being subjected to. It's just ridiculous. It's like, yeah, let me center this conversation around the feelings. Let me center this conversation around your feelings, actually, and not the fucking ruthless massacre of tens of thousands of fucking Palestinian children. You know what I mean? Let me talk about your feelings. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. Your fifis. Oh no, I can't believe it. There's an appropriate way to protest, guys. You can't say that the fucking objectively ultra-nationalist, fascist, genocidal government of Israel is very similar to the Nazi government. You can't say that because it upsets people and it hurts people's feelings. Come on now. I'm going to drop everything I care about now about the whole issue. My morality, my moral core has been shooketh because of the aesthetics of the way that you're protesting. That's really fucked up. How do we always center the feelings of Zionist students? Like, it's crazy. And no, don't try to do that thing where you're like, oh, I can't believe you're fucking saying Zionists instead of saying Jewish students. No, motherfucker, I'm saying Zionist students. You want to know why? Because there's anti-Zionist Jews being arrested right now. Ain't nobody gives a fuck about their fifis. Why? Because they're on the wrong side. Because they're on the wrong side according to the American State Department. They're on the wrong side according to the media. They're on the wrong side. Even though 50 years from now, we'll look at a fucking snapshot of those brave souls. You know what I mean? Reddit take on the protests are some of the worst comments I've ever heard, ever read. I know. Reddit is just don't go on Reddit, okay? Just don't do it. It's ridiculous.
Governor Kathy Hochul calling for dialogue.
People need to find their humanity. Have the conversations.
Here, I'll give you the good. I'll give you the good. I'll give you the fucking silver lining. Are you ready? This kind of protest 5 months ago would have and did happen, by the way, would have only featured, the way that it was covered in the media would only feature how anti-Semitic they are, how disgusting these people are, and how they're all Jew haters, and how they all have to go to jail for their Jew hate. That is the only kind of dialogue that occurred in the immediate aftermath of October 8, October 9, October 10, when Israel relentlessly started bombing Gaza. Okay? And anyone and everyone that dared protest against that, and it did not matter what their religious background was, did not matter what their ethnic background was, everybody immediately were like, nope, those guys hate Jews. And they would find like random fucking dumbasses, disruptors, shitty protesters, assholes who want to fucking actually engage in anti-Semitic acts, and they would hyper focus on it. That's why I kept saying it's unproductive to laser in on random fucking people saying like, saying that like Hitler was right or whatever the fuck. Those people do not represent the broader movement. Okay. But like I said, notice how even Kathy Hochul, however the fuck you say it, is basically like, well, let's not get a little ahead of ourselves. Let's have a dialogue instead of being like, these are Jew haters, we have to kill them. You know what I mean? It's obvious that the discourse has shifted. Obviously, at what cost? Well, the cost is tens of thousands of Palestinians ruthlessly slaughtered. I mean, WeHo just drove by a huge field of Israel flags in Beverly Hills craziness. Someone should put a Palestine flag among them. You can't do that. That thing is round the clock surveilled by both the Beverly Hills Police Department, surveillance drones, but literally has like security teams on it at every given any day of the week. If you think you could go near that fucking thing and even touch it, let me tell you, you will be on the front cover of every local newspaper like that. Okay? They will call you the #1 anti-Semite. Like they will be like, Hitler couldn't have thought about being this anti-Semitic. Okay? If you think that you're going anywhere near that in Beverly Hills, you are the most delusional motherfucker on the planet. Do not go near that thing, okay? Do not. I hope you understand. That's there for, in my opinion, bait.
Talk to each other.
Columbia University announcing they're now moving to hybrid learning, allowing students to decide whether they want to attend class in person or online. Columbia's president now facing growing calls for her resignation from influential donors and alumni like the New England.
Yeah, immediately all the donors are like, yeah, you didn't kill the students. That's really fucked up, man. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Sorry. Norm Finkelstein talked about the hurt feelings argument you just mentioned.
The only reason there's an argument about that slogan is because we have legitimized this notion that hurt feelings are grounds for stifling speech. And that to me is totally unacceptable. It's wholly alien to the culture of academic freedom, which some of you might say, oh, that's such a bourgeois notion, it's socially constructed and all that other crap. I don't believe that at all. You'll read the most eloquent defenses of the principle of unhindered, untrammeled freedom of speech. You'll read the most eloquent defenses of it by people like Rosa Luxemburg, who was, by any reckoning, an extraordinary individual and an extraordinary revolutionary. But being both did not in any way mean she would accept any curbs on the principle of free speech. Free speech for two reasons. Number one, no radical movement can make any kind of progress unless it has clarity about its goals and clarity about what it might be doing.
Okay, it's too long. I'm sorry. Let's continue. We have a lot to cover here today, so I'm gonna skip some of this. All right.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft, who says he is now reconsidering his support for the university. Robin.
All right, Stephanie, we appreciate your reporting. And all of this we know is coming with College Commitment Day for high school seniors just over a week away.
Let's break down where these protests are coming from.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, where are they coming from? George Soros. I love when people are... It'd be really funny if they were like, yep, George Soros is doing this. Because it's like, I'm Brian, kill myself. I'm Brian, kill me. Please, somebody. I'm Brian, please, somebody kill me. And today I'm going to be talking about how these anti-Semitic protests are actually being sponsored by big Jewish donor George Soros, the puppet master. What a funny way. What a funny way that would be to just like, stop the anti-Semitism, stop the anti-Semitic hate. I don't think it's George Soros, by the way. And I don't think they're going to say George Soros. You're about to get canceled for that one. It's just like the from the network that brought you big Jewish donors are funding and facilitating America's great replacement. Here comes hours and hours of coverage about how how anti-Semitic these Jewish college students are, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? Like, remember, half of the coverage that they do is literally Jews are destroying the moral the moral fabric of Western civilization. That is a one-to-one comparison to Nazi propaganda. Okay? That's it. That's literally what the fascists believed. That is literally what Fox News watchers believe. That's what they say. Okay? George Soros is, a placeholder for Jew. That's it. By saying Soros, they're showing their interlocutors that word has no meaning for them, and they will be taken aback. Yeah. Hold up, guys. I dropped a big Soros bomb. A big one. Okay? And I used that to show my interlocutors that being anti-Semitic doesn't scare me. Kaya, place, good girl. Anyway, let's keep going.
From who is funding them, where they started, and actually where the dollars are going. All right, well, let's begin. First off, they're everywhere.
And they're everywhere, Brian, but they're often under one banner. This is what to know behind these protests you're seeing. On-campus organization, Students for Justice in Palestine. Brian, it's basically behind most of the major campus protests we've seen. And as I pointed out, as I mentioned, it's everywhere. It's all across the country.
Yeah, you got 200 plus chapters of various sizes. Smaller ones are over in Tufts, smaller ones over in Emerson, but bigger in the Ivy League schools. How do they communicate? You could guess it. They go through the...
Wait, I thought there was like a big shadowy mega donor behind all of this. It turns out they're just describing how college students protest and also how they communicate and organize. That's right, everybody. College students are on that tic-tac. Let me tell you, okay? Yeah, they're saying ACAB, which stands for Assassinate Cool American Babies. If you hear people saying LOL, that means legalize opium legally. That's right. That's what they want. And they're doing it right in front of our eyes.
Go through the cell phone, go through text messages, go through certain sites. And these are some of the colleges that have gotten our attention.
Yeah, these are the notable chapters. These are the ones we're covering in the news right now.
They're talking about it like it's that map of active white supremacy hate groups. Bro, if this was a map of active white supremacy hate groups, they would be talking about how fucking patriotic they are. Okay? I'm sure they have done a shit ton of coverage about like how woke and gay Media Matters is, or all these like right-wing tracker accounts are, and right-wing tracker media operations are, for looking at a bunch of brave patriots, the Gravy Seals, doing what needs to be done, right? And greatly overemphasizing how much they're like hyperventilating about that sort of thing. ACAB, assassinate cute American babies.
Now they're making the most noise, Berkeley, NYU, Yale, Columbia. But again, I think the important point is 200 plus chapters across the country for students for justice in Palestine.
So they've been there. They've been simmering underneath, waiting since October 7th. There's been a lot of talk about the.
Yeah, they've been waiting. Ooh, they're waiting in the shadows. They're like, oh, I can't wait. They're talking about students like they're the guys that did 9/11. Brother, if Republicans, right-wingers, and reactionaries across the board had their way, we would be prosecuting every college student in Guantanamo Bay. We would be throwing them in Guantanamo Bay. The reason, I think some of the reason why at least a lot of right-wing Americans love Israel, other than the theological justifications for Armageddon, other than the fact that, it aligns with the State Department interests, other than the fact that they are enemies of our enemies, Muslims, is also the underlying feeling of jealousy that Israel gets to do advanced fascism so openly in broad daylight. And it's exactly that kind of advanced fascism that many of these guys desperately want here in the United States of America. That's why I always joke about how, so many of these people want to do Israel shit to the fucking students that are protesting the Israel shit that Israel is doing to the Palestinians. They only have one note. It's just full throttle, baby. Let's go. Let's kill them. Let's fucking arrest them. Lock them up. The fuck we doing? I feel like sometimes it's they're a little jelly beans that Israel gets to do it and we can't do it here.
The pro-Israel because of the massacre they suffered. But believe it or not, if you go on TikTok, there are more things Stand With Palestine from October 7th, even the following week, than there was Stand With Israel.
So the big question is, well, who's behind Students for Justice in Palestine? Well, here are some of the groups funding that organization. This
My favorite is when, Wall Street Journal writes insane shit. Welcome to Dearborn, America's jihad capital. And that's from 2024, by the way. That's not 2002. That's not 2001, which, by the way, they said the same exact shit in 2001 as well. Imams and politicians in the Michigan city side with Hamas against Israel and Iran against the U.S. Who's behind the anti-Israel protest by Steven Stalinsky? Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis and others are grooming activists in the U.S. and across the West. The Houthis, man, they're doing the dang thing. And I've heard from authorities that there's this guy named Hassan, which sounds real close to Hamas, by the way, having them Houthis on. He's finding the attractive Houthis and bringing them on the broadcast so they can poison the minds of the goddamn youth. Is this really Wall Street Journal? Brother, if you are shocked that this is a Wall Street Journal headline, then that could mean one of two things. One, you are relatively new to the Israel conversation, but it's good. I'm glad that you're finally seeing the way that this kind of coverage occurs in mainstream media. Okay? But that's it, actually. There's no two. That's it. It's just you must be new. This is I want to post this. This is great. Maybe you should try to create a fake American actor streaming the Western lefties. You should change more than one letter. Nice try, Hamas. Yeah. If you tried to use an American man to poison the minds of the youth and groom them into thinking that Hamas is good, then let me tell you, should have tried harder, made his name not Hassan, so similar to Hamas, but named him Hank or something. Hank Pecker. Another one, Tom Nichols. I supported the invasion of Iraq, but a just cause doesn't make for a just war, by Tom Nichols. Tom Nichols, Radio Free Tom, now stating, a generation that has grown up in peace and prosperity, jonesing for the rush of having their own version of the 1960s and looking desperately to shoehorn every cause into a replay of what they think their boomer grandparents were doing. Come on, Tom, I respect you, but everything here is off. Kids who grew up in the Great Recession had more peace and prosperity than kids that raised during the 50s. I don't see any 60s cosplay. Just kids tired of seeing dead Gazan kids on their phone and want to do something. This guy had a really good take, by the way. Remember Megaphonics? You misunderstood their take and thought they were being serious and not sarcastic. Also, the worst take that he had here, Will Bunch had here, was saying, I respect you, Radio Free Tom. Yes, they have an immeasurably higher standard of living, and the Great Recession is mostly something kids at elite colleges read about. 2, we're just going to disagree on the cosplay. What cosplay? This is what I don't understand. Wearing the keffiyeh, which is a symbol of Palestinian liberation, is not cosplay, okay? It's solidarity. You think it's cosplay because you immediately attribute it to terrorism, okay? Because your fucking racist mind cannot comprehend that this is something that Palestinians want those in the West to do. It's so stupid. Cynical shits can't begin to imagine anyone does anything for someone else. I know. It's just like, why are you so mad? That's the real question I have, always and forever. Why the fuck are you so goddamn mad, bro? Why? Why are you so mad?
SPAC stands for Westchester Foundation, headed by an anti-Zionist ex-Orthodox Jew. And then you can see they sponsor, Brian, all these different elements of SJP, Students for Justice.
Damn, he hit the hard J on that one. He's like, yeah, headed by a Jew. They're behind the shadows in the darkness. Folks, let's not forget. Oh, yes. It is so funny, to me at least, that there are people who literally cannot comprehend in their minds. There are ultra-Zionist Jews out there who think that these dudes would not just at the flip of a dime, at the tip of a hat, whatever the fucking saying is, immediately turn those same crosshairs on them. There is nothing funnier to me than thinking that these dudes, these reactionary pieces of shit, okay, would ever in a million fucking years not turn on you. Okay? You were so close at the drop of a hat, the tip of the dime, whatever, at the flick of a tit. Yeah, they are not on your team, big dog. They're not. This is why I always say, if tomorrow every single Zionist Jewish person in the United States of America turned around and became rabid anti-Zionists, okay? Like brave, courageous. If they just flip the script, if you think America would not stop supporting Israel, you are delusional and wrong, okay? That's why it's a laughable notion that people go, oh yeah, Jews have this stranglehold on the media. Am I right? They control it. It's like, no, they don't, man. They don't. There happens to be aligning interest here. That's precisely the same reason why these guys are so quick to just also immediately arrest Jewish anti-Zionist protesters and subject them to the exact same cruelty that they subject the Palestinian, pro-Palestinian protesters that are of different backgrounds. Reminds me of what Ethan said about wishing the Nazis will come for Ben Shapiro first. He wasn't even wishing. He was just saying that, like, they will come for Ben Shapiro first. I don't think they would come for him first, if we're being honest, but they would definitely come for him. Yeah. Them Jews, they're behind everything, folks. Even they're on both sides. They're controlling both sides of this Israel conversation. Here at Fox News, reporting live about anti-Semitism rising in America. Jews are controlling it. It's great, man. It's cool. Thank you. Thank you for this phenomenal coverage, Fox News.
Justice and we've seen these groups out and about. We've seen them with signs, and we've seen some of their chants in terms of what are their resources when they go to jail? What are their resources when they get kicked off campus? Like Congressman Omar's daughter. This is where they can go. These are where a lot of the fun.
Bro, almost hit the Shahada on accident, dude. He went, Congressman, la ilaha illallah.
Funding is.
Yeah, they go to A-15 bail, legal defense fund. They're not only organizing, putting it together, but what happens to you if you're arrested at the protest.
Yeah, this isn't, Mom, I got drunk last night, I'm in prison, I got a drunk driving ticket. They know exactly where to go when they get themselves in trouble, and they know exactly their rights when they get themselves on campus.
Damn, that's really fucked up that they know their rights, dude. Dude, this is just a glaring W for the pro-Palestinian students. You know what I mean? These guys, they're too smart. They know their fucking rights, man. It's really messed up. We should take their rights away. They're organized and they're informed, and we hate that. We hate that. God, I'm so mad right now.
And this leads to this.
Other funding, student governments, talking about how the protest fund is self-funded, American Muslims for Palestine. A lot of this is opaque stuff.
Student governments, when I was in college, they used to pick out stand-up comedians and when to appear and what venue to go. They're doing protests. Now, this might be the most important wall.
Well, this is off-campus stuff. So Students for Justice for Palestine, that's on-campus student organizations. Then you got stuff that's happening off of campus.
Yeah, now let's get to the good stuff, the real demons, okay? The real demons, Muslims, okay? Let me tell you. Yeah, sure, Jews are responsible for the anti-Israel protests as well, but let me tell you, you know who else is responsible? Them goddamn Arabs! Them goddamn Arabs, them Muslim mans, brother!
Like American Muslims for Palestine, the parent organization, informally, of SJP.
Right, and you see a lot of these lecturers hop on campus. They got to get paid. That's where the money comes from. We see a lot of their antics, like on Monday was El Quds Day. They stopped the Golden Gate.
Monday was El Quds Day. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, they were saying glory to the martyrs, brother. What the fuck? They were saying we will dismantle the Zionist entity.
Bridge. They maybe block traffic in your tunnel, in your area, to make what the point? That they're powerful, that they have something to say? And El Quds, not a positive organization.
Well, tell everybody, what is Al Quds a reference of?
They're the outgrowth of
the Al Quds Committee, April Death to America protest.
The Islamic Republic of Iran. The Al Quds force is the one that kills our people in Iraq and tries to bomb them out.
Kills our people in Iraq? Bro, what are our people doing in Iraq? I thought we pulled out. What the fuck do you mean? Excuse me? Why are our people in Iraq? What's going on there? Is anyone going to ask that question? What are they doing over there? What's that about? Okay, never mind.
Syria as late as 2 days ago.
So named after Al Quds, the Al Quds Committee is the one, for example, the protest you heard, Death to America.
Guys. You need to understand something. Many of you in the chat are woke libtards talking about Al Quds actually means Jerusalem in Arabic. In Arabic, do you understand something? It sounds scary to me, though. Okay? Oh, Al Quds simply means Jerusalem. Okay, well, guess what? You know what it means to me? Al-Qaeda. That's right. Sounds quite similar to Al-Qaeda. And also, another thing that they're teaching our children in school, algebra. That's right. Did you know that they are teaching our children Islamic sciences in our schools, teaching them the number 0 and the number 1 and 2, teaching them algebra? I will not be having that. Hell no. Al Jazeera, Al Qaeda, Al Quds. It's kind of fucked up, if you ask me. We better stop that shit right now. No more numbers. No more algebra.
A chance, that's this group, who also has big plans come this summer.
The worst is yet to come for the DNC. In Chicago, plans...
Oh, they love that. He's like, oh, yeah, they're going to fucking disrupt the DNC. It's like...
So already in place to create chaos in the streets, inside or out. And they're not pro-Republican. They're just anti-Democratic Party unless they change and become pro-Palestinian.
So that's the AstroTurf behind...
That's the AstroTurf? You did not describe... Bro either doesn't know what astroturfing means or just, is, I guess, trying to act like this is astroturfing. I don't know, like misinforming their audience deliberately. He just described how all of these college campus students are literally communicating and organizing on social media, which genuinely is the exact opposite. It is like fundamentally the opposite of astroturfing. He described a grassroots movement and then just simply ended it by saying, and that's how they're astroturfing it, folks.
A lot of these protests that you see that look like students, and it does attract students, but this is the funding, the organization behind these student protests across campus.
I'm Steve Ducey.
He mentioned a bunch of self-funded philanthropic organizations that don't just work with pro-Palestinian activists that get arrested, but just across the board, like work with bail funds and whatnot, tied it all together. And openly recognized that they were organizing on social media, genuinely grassroots, only to turn around and be like, and that's why it's AstroTurf, folks. Come on, Hassan. Normally they'd say something about Jewish funding, but they're a little handcuffed here. I know. They still hit that though. They still hit the hard J in the beginning of the coverage where they were like, it's a Jew that controls the pro-Palestinians. Westpac, run by a Jew. They just had the opportunity not to do that, and they still chose to do it. And I respect that integrity, okay? Modi is fully fascist in his recent speech. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. All right, let's get to the billionaire donors rethinking Columbia University support, by the way. Robert Kraft, famous rub and tugger, Roberto, and many others are withdrawing their support from Columbia University. Okay? Why? Because they're not killing the fucking pro-Palestinian students, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Would you get RFK Jr. on the stream? I've shit on him too much. I don't think I'd be able to get him on. I know his son is a fan of mine, though. It is very odd that there is the uncle-nephew dynamic rearing its ugly head once again in the conversation.
What's going on the campuses reminds me a little bit about the Vietnam War demonstrations. Okay, it's the responsibility of the university to create a safe and welcoming environment. And for many universities, including Columbia, they failed in doing that. But they're catching on. And right now, I think they're trying to do the right things.
That was Omega Fan.
Wait, what? I can't tell. Sometimes when people talk about this shit, like, okay, I saw someone on Instagram post a meme yesterday that at first glance I thought was like, oh, here's an ally out of nowhere. Like, this person is defending the pro-Palestinian students. Turns out the meme was actually the opposite of what I thought it was saying. They were saying that in like the 1940s, Nazis were blocking Jewish students from going to class, just like the pro-Palestinian protests are blocking Jewish students from going to class now. History never changes. And when I saw that, it broke my fucking mind. Okay? I was like, I cannot comprehend it. So now, every time I hear somebody talk about like making the college campus a safe place for all students, obviously, at first glance, I'm thinking, oh, they're pro-Palestinian. Like, they're saying that students should be able to demonstrate on campus safely, especially anti-war protests. Like, this seems like a valid form of activism, and it is, it's perfectly legal in the United States of America, and it's a good thing, right? Turns out, nope, they're using that to say, no, actually, it's Jewish students that are somehow being harmed by these fucking pro-Palestinian activists, which of course is comprised of Jewish students, Jewish anti-Zionist students as well. But we don't talk about that. And that's what the college campuses are fucking up on, not making this a safe space for the Jewish students that are attending class. Why? Because there's pro-Palestinian activism happening on campus.
Family office chairman and billionaire donor to Columbia University, Leon.
Yeah, we love billionaires, don't we, folks? Yeah, no, totally. They should definitely control and dominate this conversation. Oh, by the way, documenting Jew hatred on campus, one of my favorite groups of all time, obviously. The pro-Hamas illegal encampment at Columbia University continues to have visitors from outside the university. One of today's visitors includes Motaz Aziza. Yet Columbia professor Shai Davide has been barred from campus by university, claiming the administration can't ensure his safety. We call on all Jewish faculty to publicly condemn the pro-Hamas takeover of campus and demand order be restored to create a safe environment for everyone, including Jewish students and faculty. There is nothing funnier to me that demonstrates perfectly, where this hyperventilation is coming from than looking at a Palestinian journalist who literally documented the genocide of his people, had his friends and family members mercilessly slaughtered by the Israeli state in front of his eyes, okay, only to survive, only to get out and become someone who will speak on those conditions from his own personal experience, immediately being called Hamas. Once again, it's just Israel shit. It's literally just Israel shit. That's it. It's just Israel shit. It's more Israel shit. They're like, hey, why can't we do some Israel shit here in America? What's going on? This is objectively no different, in my opinion, than like a white supremacist turning around and being like, I feel less safe on campus because there's blacks around. Okay? That's it. Just a random black guy walking around and a white supremacist being like, sorry, you can't do that. Okay? My feelings as a white supremacist are more important than anything else. Okay? I will throw a fucking bitch fit. Do you understand me? I will not see the top of the hour ad break. I refuse. And you can refuse as a conscientious objector to the top of the hour ad break, which is 3 minutes long, by subscribing. Yale campus cops arrest black students all the time for just being on campus. Of course. Apparently, Patriot Zionist owner pulled funding from Columbia, which is why they went hybrid. Good riddance. What? Hybrid? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the Scott Galloway shit, too. Don't worry. Professor Galloway defending Israel. Anyway, you have a right to defend itself, even though Israel does not under international law by genociding the Palestinians. How can you defend yourself against the top of the hour ad break? Well, by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Actually, the reason that Kraft is pulling support is because at the top of the hour, Columbia won't let him kiss Tom Brady on the lips. Do you know that most of the pro-Hamas hate Motaz because he's pro-Fatah Lamau? Yeah, Motaz also was like, quote unquote, soft canceled by the fucking rabid Western leftists for some time for having a difference in opinion with them. So the idea that like, the idea that he's like super pro-Hamas is pretty funny. And it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, who gives a shit what his own personal beliefs are, bro? He's literally, in that moment, he is a victim of an ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign, and he's there to speak on the ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign that has killed his co-workers, ruthlessly slaughtered his co-workers. Oh, you saw that too? I thought it was only visible in Arab Twitter. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care that he's like fucking Fatah guy. Who fucking cares? Yeah, Motaz is the guy that libs who disagree with Israel and hate Hamas should like, but they don't because he's Arab. Okay, that's right. Because a lot of the resentment and animosity has nothing to do with like political differences. It has nothing to do with like Hamas's governance or anything like that. This is beyond you, man. A lot of Palestinians criticize him and a lot of Gazans were mad at him. It's within the Palestinian community. Isn't for outsiders to talk about. All right, whatever. My ultimate point here is that I don't care about his fucking difference in agreement, difference in opinion. Okay? You guys know where I stand on this sort of stuff. I'm not going to sit here and fucking scold a Palestinian who escaped Gaza. Okay? That's insane. Especially because he's not there to be like, Hamas is bad. Hamas is bad. Israel has a right to defend itself. He's there to talk about how Israel is fucking mercilessly slaughtering Palestinians. Anyway, why should Israel be the only democracy that gets to shut down free speech? I mean, Israel's not a democracy. All right. Let's watch the Billionaires rethinking Columbia University support, and then we'll get to some wonderful players here talking about I think this clip literally is featured in this video.
Moments ago, speaking to CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin about the ongoing political protests at Columbia over the Hamas-Israel war. Cooperman's comments came as some billionaire Columbia donors are saying they are rethinking their support of the school amid everything that is going on with the protests.
Yeah.
And Andrew joins us now. So
Andrew, I agree with Mr. Cooperman. I think maybe they were a little slow to it. I know this will make nobody happy, but I think Columbia is a good example of where they're trying to do the right thing. Now, it was Columbia where students took over. During the Vietnam War, students took over the president's office, and everybody thought that was so cool and so noble. Younger people like me grew up, and they're like, "What? What?" I was always afraid to knock on the president of the university's door. There's nothing cool about anarchy and chaos on your college campuses, and I think sometimes these administrators, I don't know if they came straight from academia. I don't know what their problem is, but they're paid to be adults. They're paid to keep people safe. They're paid to have an orderly environment where students can learn. So I think Mr. Cooperman may be right there, that they're getting it. Better late than never.
Well, look, one of the things that just happened today is they've just announced they've gone hybrid effectively for the rest of the semester as a way of dealing with it. Now, a lot of people have said that means you're not controlling anything. It means you're effectively giving up. You're saying you can't control the situation. Now, maybe that's the practicality of where we are. But I think there is a real question as to whether Columbia is handling this well. I think they're getting better at it, if you will. But, that
there's nothing cool about chaos and anarchy. It's awesome. Nothing cool about it whatsoever.
Hasn't stopped Robert Kraft, of course. The owner of the Patriots came out. He's an alumnus and said that he is effectively not going to be giving them more money. And there's a whole number, by the way, of major billionaire donors on Wall Street and others who come from Columbia. Warren Buffett, one of probably the most famous alumni. He has not spoken out. I think there's a real debate as to whether the donors should be trying to use their influence, not trying to use their influence. That's another piece of it. And so many of them, frankly, I know a bunch who would like to actually speak out, who say, you know what, I don't want to because I'm so scared that actually my employees will actually either turn against me on this issue or that my customers will turn against me on this issue. So there's a real sort of push-pull going on here in terms of all of it.
One of the elements that Mr. Cooper mentioned in the clip that we just saw and listened to is he referenced the protests and the violence on campuses during the Vietnam War.
Right.
There is a night and day
difference. There's a difference
between that period of time and today.
Yeah, the night and day difference is that this fucking demon probably would have been on the other side back then as well. Or actually, you know what? These are the exact same fucking people who were probably the pro-Vietnam War. What the fuck's he talking about? What's the night and day difference? It's an imperial army doing unimaginable cruelty to the native population. It's almost identical. The only difference is that, like, I guess the opposition, their yearning for freedom and emancipation is the same, but the opposition isn't like communist. That's it. Well, there are some communists, but ultimately not all of them are aligned on that boundary in the way that, like, the North Vietnamese Liberation Front was.
And the night and day difference is factored into it, something called the explosion of anti-Semitism as a result of all of this.
Oh, yeah, because here's why it didn't fucking matter in the Vietnam War. Because you couldn't make an argument that you care about the South Vietnamese population because you were literally slaughtering them. That's the difference. That's the major difference here. And I'm sure plenty of people would have tried to be like, well, actually, we're trying to defend the autonomy of the South Vietnamese government that we planted, which was brutal and oppressive and awful. But they couldn't make that argument in the Vietnam era against the anti-war protesters of the time because nobody really gave a shit about the Vietnamese people and and their lives and livelihoods, because if they did, then all of a sudden people would ask the question, why are we bombing South Vietnam?
I don't know how you contend with that.
I think the hardest part right now is how you create a distinction and a line. And this is what I think so many of these administrations are trying to figure out, is a distinction and a line between those who want to protest what Israel is doing in Gaza from a policy perspective, and those who are genuinely anti-Semitic, genuinely harassing students, genuinely causing such physical problems that it's creating security issues and it's not allowing the students to learn. And it's shocking to me that the administrations can't figure out how to actually deal with this in a meaningful way. And there's, by the way, been a turn on the donor class, interestingly enough.
Yeah, no, totally. Where is all of this stuff that they're talking about, by the way? Where is it? Like, I haven't seen a fucking example. There's like, I'm sure there is one, you know what I mean? But there's not really, like, if these protests were being motivated and guided by anti-Semitism, okay, in the way that a lot of the naysayers claim it is, then I feel like there would be more examples that you could use of real existing anti-Semitism, and not simply that, like, my feelings were hurt as someone who went to counter-protest the Israeli genocide and defend the Israeli genocide, and people, of course, correctly said that I was an ultra-Zionist akin to a Nazi. Because if there was, like, if these protests were motivated by anti-Semitism, I feel like, you know, anti-Semites don't exactly hide their anti-Semitism, especially when they're protesting. They very openly put the fucking swastika up there. They'll fly that shit. We've seen many such examples. You know, very odd.
Saying that they shouldn't actually be using their.
Bro, what are you talking about? Look what they did to this woman. Guys, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I'm about to show you gruesome imagery of a brave, lone Jewish counter-protester. You're about to see some real... It gives me no pleasure to report this. Okay? This brave soul was murdered. Like, spiritually, I would say. Not like physically murdered, but spiritually murdered, assassinated. Victim to an anti-Semitic, violent anti-Semitic hate crime. It's going to be really hard to watch, but we have to watch it. As those who defend Palestinian emancipation, as those of us who speak out against the Israeli occupation, we also have to reckon with our side and the actions that our side engages in. I'm letting you know this is going to be a very trigger warning once again. Very sad images are about to grace your presence. It's time to talk about the examples, the many such examples of anti-Semitic hatred. I hope they're getting paid well for this shit. Soulless motherfuckers. Local woman drinks invisibility potion, takes weird pathing through crowd. Many of you might want to look away, but many of you want to look away probably, but you shouldn't. You should stare. You should stare at the pro-Palestinian anti-Semites. You should stare at them and see their crimes in full display. I might get banned for this, but I'm proud. I'm proud to show you that there are brave souls out there who are still on the side of the American State Department, pretty much every Western politician, most of the Gulf leadership, Gulf state leadership, and also on the side of the apartheid state of Israel. No one is on their side. No one with power is on the side of Israel except for this brave soul, Israel's strongest warrior. Do you hear that in the background? That's anti-Semitic. That's anti-Semitic music. Everybody knows zurna, the flute style horned instrument, horn instrument that is calling for jihad, which of course means killing Jewish people. That's right. It's a war horn. Do you hear the drums of liberation? Many of you might think those are the drums of liberation. That actually is the drums of assassination. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't open up that. Oh no. Don't open up the. No, don't do it. Guys, they're about to show you something really gruesome and really scary. If it wasn't enough that you saw the anti-Semitic music that they're listening to, look at the banner. Look at them dancing menacingly. Now, the mind of the Western liberal cannot comprehend the danger that this woman is in. Okay? They can't. It is so obvious to me that the Palestinians, the Muslims, have been able to capture with their mind control music the minds of many other brave American souls who probably once could have been great allies to the Israeli cause of genocide. And yet here they are dancing. And that dance is nefarious. Why? Why is that nefarious? One, Arabs dance. They're dancing like Arabs to Arabic music. Two, this is a dance that they do before they do the hate crimes. The dance itself is also a hate crime, but this dance in particular is also spelling. It's a double hate crime. Avert your eyes from the banner that you might see in a brief moment. No! Oh, what does that say? It says, Jews for a free Palestine. Oh, God. Oh, another snapshot. We have a lot to reckon with. As pro-Palestinian advocates, activists, we have a lot to answer for. That's right. We do. Trigger warning, guys. Are those watermelon slices? I didn't want to say it, but yes, those are indeed watermelon slices. I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps. If you squint your eyes on this pause, it looks like she's a pro-Palestinian Jewish person. No, that's why it's so perfect. That's why this image is so perfect to me. This is the best part, because they always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm telling you, this picture is worth 1,000 words. This perfectly captures the fraudulent, hyperventilating Israel defenders in the United States of America, talking about how fearful they are and how that fear is completely unwarranted and how anti-Semitic the pro-Palestinian side is. Okay? Like, that's it. You put yourself there. You put the yellow star David on your back. Okay? You wrote Jew on your t-shirt. You went to the fucking protest. You didn't get the reaction that you wanted. And you just sat there angry. As people genuinely did not. This is the perfect thing to do to counter protest, by the way. People don't give a shit. They're dancing. Good vibes all around. People hugging each other. People sitting around, tweeting, talking to one another. And here she is trying to self-victimize. It's perfect. Just white knuckling through it all. Nobody cared. Apparently, there's a follow-up to this as well. We don't hide our faces. My wife said, look at my face. I'm not afraid. Look at my face. I'm not afraid. Put my face on camera. Show my face. Dox me. Dox me. Dox me. Dox me. Dox me. I will not be ashamed. I am proud. Dude, that's so funny, bro. With the fucking Palestinian protest, they're dancing in the background, just chilling. Oh, it's so fucking cringe, dude. Oh my lord.
Dogs me! Dogs me! Dogs me! Dogs me! Dogs me! I will not be ashamed!
Dude, the invocation of the Holocaust with the yellow Star of David is so fucked up, but it's so unimaginably fucked up that it like bounces back to being funny, because she's literally saying like, it's my Holocaust, it's my personal Holocaust if you don't let Israel genocide Palestinian children. Like, what a ridiculous thing to fucking say. Is literally like stubbing your toe and being like, this is just like the Holocaust. What the fuck? Hasanabi precog once again. There are so many chatters shadow banned like this trying to type right now, but no one can see them. Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's awesome. People in the chat being like, yeah, you would love to hate crime me if you had the opportunity, don't you? Okay, yeah, you would. I bet you'd fucking love to do that. You hate Jews. I know it in my heart. She's not afraid because her counter protest isn't against the popular messaging of our entire political and media apparatus. Her stance is not controversial, so brave. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I love videos like this because it's just so cringe. It's so unimaginably cringe. Like the hate crime that she engaged in is one that she did herself, okay? She posted so much cringe that it is borderline a crime, a war crime, maybe even a hate crime. The hate crime in and of itself is obviously saying, likening not being allowed to do a little bit of ethnic cleansing to the Holocaust, which is already ridiculous. You're just undermining the severity of the Holocaust. But it's crazy. This woman is craving attention so bad that she acts like she wants the Holocaust to happen to her specifically. No, she doesn't act like that. She's saying it has happened to her. She's literally saying it's happening to her right now. I'm sorry, but this reminded me of this banger. Oh, yeah. Columbia students participating in the Palestinian protest take part in a cult-like tribal dance while dancing and clapping to Arabic music. It's awesome, dude. Like so much of the anger and resentment stems just directly from unadulterated, unfiltered racism. That's it. And like there is still a market for this. There is definitely still a market for this. I mean, look at this. This got 7,000 likes, bro. Especially in a place like Twitter, Elon Musk's Twitter. You're gonna get a lot of fans who are just like, no, I love how fucking racist you are here. It's awesome. Ridiculous. Funniest thing about this is that it's basically the same dance you do at Jewish weddings. Both are cool and fun. Yeah, it's hilarious. Look at the Reuters Live, maybe? Why? What's happening on Reuters Live? It's entitlement. Zionists feel like they are entitled to pure and perfect victimhood forever. They're just libs. Yeah. It's the quintessential Middle Eastern dance running around in a circle. I know. I just think it's fucking ridiculous that they're like, oh yeah, this one was awesome too. Remember this lady? This Zionist traveled all the way to Japan to throw a tantrum during a pro-Palestine solidarity rally. I remember. It's so funny to just be like, why won't the government kill all these people? They're saying Israel is in the wrong. That makes me feel bad. Like, why won't the government come in and take care of them? It's just like the expectation from those who defend Israel. The expectation from those who defend Israel is that like everywhere you go is also Israel. and all of your enemies are also Hamas. And obviously, like, whichever government is currently operating in that region has to literally use military force to apprehend all of those who are protesting against Israel. What the fuck's happening here? And it's like, that's not how this shit works. That's not how this shit works at all. It's my favorite type of shit. It also reminds me of the other protest that we saw the other day in New York of a bunch of like old ladies and old men sitting around and like they put like red paint on their groin area and were like, yeah, and trapped themselves in cages. Do you remember that shit? Heidi Bachram says the Hamas fans of Colombia are having a party. This is all a laugh. Meanwhile, classes are online and Jews can't walk safely on their own campus. The enemies of America are delighted that an elite university has been dominated. A win for hate. Israelis are generally some of the worst tourists. I'm sure you know that as a Turk, so entitled. I mean, they're just American, dude. Israelis operate exactly like fucking Americans do. Bro, that's just how entitled they are. They act like they own everything in the world. Like how, what? How they steal food from whatever nation in the area, call it Israeli food. Like, mate, we've been eating these foods for thousands of years. The thing is, it's all a matter of vibes that you put out there. Like if Israel was like, yeah, this is our cuisine is developed off of the many different ethnic backgrounds that our country is built around. You know what I mean? If this was done peacefully, okay, if it was done fucking peacefully, then it makes sense. Then you can engage in like wonderful shared culture. It's just not done peacefully. And at every step of the way, it's like, yeah, no, it's our food. Also, the people that invented these foods, we kill them and we hate them. So are you saying you support these pro-Palestine protesters that are cornering Jews and spreading anti-Semitism? Bro, if you mean they're cornering Jews in the sense that like there are Jewish anti-Zionists that are also in the corner of the protest, I think that's what you're mistaken on. Okay, what do you mean cornering Jews? I love that the argument is never, do you agree with the pro-Palestinian protests? It's, do you agree with the pro-Palestinian protests that are actually killing people? I've made it up in my mind, but guess what? What if it was true? It's like, I can't fucking argue against your hallucinations, dumbass. What do you want me to fucking say to that? Hey, it's not real. It's not real, but what if it was? The fuck do you mean cornering Jews and spreading anti-Semitism? What is your definition of spreading anti-Semitism? Saying that Palestinians are human beings and Israel should not conduct the genocidal ethnic cleansing campaign in the fucking Gaza Strip and that Israel is an apartheid state? Those are, that's spreading anti-Semitism? Kaya, please. Oh, do you agree? Yeah, here, let's look at some cornered Jews. Spent the first night of Passover at the student Seder in the Gaza Solidarity encampment at Columbia. The Jewish flank of the Palestine Solidarity movement is growing. It is so beautiful to behold. Judge for yourself how unsafe these Jewish students look. Love that I got hit with an ad during this. Haha. Yeah, I'm sure you love it. Damn, dude, look at all these cornered Jews. They probably don't recognize that they are so unsafe right now. It's so funny. It's so funny to just fucking literally talk about like how Jews are being cornered and anti-Semitism is being spread after the last 25 minutes of us laughing at a lady who tried to demonstrate that that was happening. Here, go ahead, chatter. Extra points if this chatter is just simply a fucking malding evangelical Zionist. That's even funnier. All right, bro, we're waiting. You got a take? You don't get it. It was actually anti-Semitic of the protesters to ignore her. Yeah. I'm an American first veteran that literally wants to know your stance on this. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. He's an America first veteran, dude. Let me tell you, I know I didn't get my shit. Let me tell you, I didn't get my dick blown off in Afghanistan, but I damn certainly will do that for Israel. You understand me? I'll go into the Gaza Strip, get fucking domed by a bathtub sniper rifle. Okay? I'll do it. I'll do it. Hoorah! That's what it's about. America first, baby. Hell yeah. Time to do some patriotism out there in the Gaza Strip, goddammit. Let me tell you something. As an America First veteran, let me tell you something. I didn't have my high school sweetheart get fucked by the neighbor every goddamn day while I was shitting in my fucking diapers in the Korangal Valley in a forward operating base surrounded by dudes using rifles that we gave them 25 fucking years ago so that you could come in here and talk about free Palestine. Do you understand me? That's right. America first, baby. Woo! Sheesh. I can't wait. I can't wait to go back again. Have my second wife get fucked by the neighbor now. Laying that good dick, Jody. Woo! You better respect me. You understand? Don't scream so much. The PTSD is going to give him the shakes. Your disrespect for veterans is an interesting take. Speak on what you believe needs to happen to fix this issue at hand. Bro, what are you, a fucking veteran of Reddit? I directly made fun of your entire existence, and you turned around and went, quite disrespectful, actually. My man was in the fucking trenches at r/world news, okay? Give me some smoke, dude. Give me some goddamn fucking smoke. I'm antagonizing you deliberately. America comes first, then my buddy, then my wife. What happened, bro? What happened? Mr. Veteran Man, you were talking about how like Jews are being cornered at these fucking protests and anti-Semitism is being spread. Okay? And I asked you to spread your cheeks and you did not elaborate on any of this shit. Yeah. He thought that we would do the fake he thought that we would do the fake ass like, oh yeah, thank you for your bravery, sir. Thank you for your service, sir. Shit in here that he's used to at fucking Applebee's. You know what I mean? If he is a real veteran at all. It's like, no, dude, I'm gonna always be honest with you, okay? America doesn't give a shit about you. I don't know why you think you're America first when America puts you last every goddamn day of the fucking week. What good did it do if you were actually a veteran and you actually served and you actually fucking went out there? You were active duty. What good did it do for your life? Didn't do shit. You didn't even get the upward social mobility that you thought you were going to get. All you got was a fucking shitty ass Camaro that was upmarked 1,000 times over, by the way. And, you know, your high school sweetheart that you married right before your deployment is getting fucked by the neighbor. That's all you got. And now, guess what? You won't get the adequate health care that they promised you, but at least people will go, thank you for your service, sir. Well, nope, fuck that. I'd rather you get health care and I make fun of you for having your wife get fucked while you were overseas, okay? At least she wasn't disappointed for once in her fucking life. You know what I mean? Would you rather me be honest to you or baby you and be like, oh yeah, no, we do care. America does care about you. You get 5% off at IHOP on Wednesday mornings. Yeah, the VA was like, good luck. Here's a safe lock. Don't kill yourself. Put a picture of your children in the gun case so you don't fucking kill yourself. That's what the VA did. That's real, by the way. How fucking disrespectful. How insane is that? They're like, yeah, 22 a day, guys. It's pretty fucked up. How do we deal with this? Oh, we'll just give them a free lock for their gun case so they don't make a split-second decision. That's an insane policy, and that's a very real policy of the VA in this fucking country. They're like, should we give them healthcare? You know, therapy, treatment, medicine? Nah, we'll give them a fucking lock for their gun case so they don't fucking kill themselves. That's how much we care about motherfucking veterans in this country. Meanwhile, you still have the audacity to sit here and be like, I love America, America first. Well, bitch, you ain't even America 10th. You're not even in 10th place in America. Hard to swallow pills, okay? I'd rather not baby you and act like everybody gives a shit about you, society gives a shit about you. I'd rather be fucking honest with you. Okay? Where's the chatter now? Where'd he go? I want to hear what he had to say after all that. You scared them away? Oh no, Blakey. I found the best takes on the protest. Easy for me to say since I'm too old to even remember college, but they absolutely should expel every single protester and fire any faculty who speaks up. And they should call the National Guard in and anything else they can think of. Act on every impulse. Go nuts. You can do anything. Have some rookie cops fire indiscriminately into a crowd of Ivy League students. Bring in hungry pumas and set them loose among the scions of the nation's elites. Really explore the art of the possible. I'm sure it will help. That's a hell dude guarantee. Place. Anyway. Bro, you gotta hope these things don't get clipped, but they sound awful from outside's perspective, not knowing any of this information in their echo chamber lives. Sometimes I think like a cold hard shake is what people need to hear. That's what I think. Like for every, because the reality is every veteran knows there's a shit ton of dumbasses that are veterans. Okay, every veteran I've talked to, they fucking talk about this shit all the time. So for every 10 veterans that reflexively go, how dare he fucking disrespect me? I'm a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. You understand me? I didn't eat crayons so we could talk like this, you know? For every 10 guys, there's at least one dude who's like, okay, I see what he's saying here. Yeah, my healthcare is dog shit. What the fuck's that about? Oh shit, he had a long ass message in it. Got clapped. The VA does fuck us vets over a lot. See, there you go. A lot of us didn't join to get a thumbs up for that. For those that actually serve, that shit doesn't matter. The Army did set me up for success as an engineer. However, I did see that Jews are cornered by protesters all the time on the news in the last couple of days. Warrant that may be misinformation. However, the hate that it seems that pro-Palestine protesters are sharing is alarming. That's why I want to know what your take. Are these protesters really peaceful? Yes, they are. And even if there were fucking non-peaceful protesters among them, do you really think that represents what the fuck they're talking about? Because what they're talking about across the board is still that Israel is doing unconscionable things. Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is doing genocide. Okay? It's ridiculous. Anyway, you got timed out by Fossabot because your message was too long because you love yapping, dude. Holy shit. I thought you all went over there to kill fucking like goat herders and shit so we could have our free speech because that's what the Taliban wanted to take away from us. You know? Our free speech. I thought that's what they hated. Now these motherfuckers are doing free speech and veterans in here are like, I'm an America First veteran, sir. Let me tell you, I don't really like how mean they're being. I can ask you as I'm new to this channel, is what happened on October 7th a terrorist act? Was Israel not supposed to retaliate? Israel should have never allowed October 7th to happen. You know how? Not by force, but by doing the exact opposite, by actually no longer operating an apartheid regime. That's it. The fuck do you think is going to happen when you fucking cage millions of people for 75 fucking years and humiliate them? Kill them, kill their family members, cut off their fucking food supply, call it putting the Palestinians on a diet in the Gaza Strip, take over more and more of their internationally recognized territory in the West Bank, do pogroms by way of using basically the Jewish version of the Klan, which ironically has members in the war cabinet right now. They're called Jewish Power, by the way. That's the name of the party. Jewish Power, like white power, literally the same. It's ridiculous. The fuck do you think people are going to do when they're backed into a corner? It didn't take much for you to go out there and fucking at least engage in the act of killing. I don't know if you personally did it yourself, but engage in the act of killing of fucking brown children. The fuck are the Palestinians supposed to do in that situation? Yeah, not war cabinet, but national security cabinet. Sorry. Free speech is amazing. I'm glad you have it. Keep spreading what you believe in. Good for you, bro. So answer this. What do you think is the best outcome to come from this? The best outcome to come from this is that the rest, many people, especially in younger generations in the Western world, are coming to the recognition that maybe everything they thought about Israel when they didn't really think about it all that much was objectively wrong, and that Israel is legitimately an apartheid state, similar to the South African apartheid state, but actually much, much worse, as a matter of fact, than the South African apartheid state, because it has existed beyond the abolition of the apartheid in South Africa and learned the lessons of what not to do in order to continue your apartheid. Do we believe in a two-state solution? Here's what I believe. I believe that there is currently a one state. It is just an apartheid state. It is the current Israeli apartheid state. I believe in the abolition of said apartheid state. That's what I believe in. Any way to get there where Palestinians have full recognition, full autonomy, civil liberties, and are able to exercise the same civil liberties that like average Israeli citizens are able to exercise, any way to get there is good. Doesn't matter. Anyway, now at University of Minnesota Twin Cities, an emergency protest has mobilized upwards of 1,000 UMN students and staff now gathered outside of Memorial Union. Student protesters arrested this morning have been released, and the solidarity encampment is being reestablished. I think people don't understand that, like, trying to violently suppress student protests have historically never really worked. And the more you escalate, the more you move in the direction of Kent State. And honestly, it's just not a successful method at all. Anyway, my parents were born in apartheid South Africa. Even they say what they went through is nothing compared to what Palestinians have to deal with every day. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of repression always backfires. And it's so odd. I guess it's like, I guess it's even more odd when you think about, like, people relitigating Vietnam now and claiming that the Vietnam protests were tankies too, and that, like, that's somehow bad. Like, in my opinion, all you do is basically, I guess, defend those who are declared tankies and show them as, like, objectively on the right side of history.
Influence. That's the other piece of this that I just wanted to mention, which I find so hypocritical. You have university administration saying we shouldn't be listening to these donors.
There are some videos of protesters harassing people, like surrounding them and screaming in their faces, and some videos from Toronto where people are cheering when Iran fired rockets. I understand why you won't show that stuff, but it's out there. Sometimes that's all it takes for people to dismiss the protest altogether. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Okay? I don't. Straight up. I'll say it right now. I don't care. Okay? When you gather tens of thousands of people together, there are going to be people that have extreme perspectives on the matter. What you're supposed to look at, and we did this with the BLM conversation, okay? We did this with the BLM conversation over and over again, okay? Oh yeah, let's not listen to what they're saying about police brutality, disproportionately targeting black communities. Let's just look at some of the edge cases and then fucking tar and feather the entire movement. It's just a way for reactionaries to try and fucking cry victim when they are the ones who are upholding the unjustifiable structures of oppression. That's it. This does not invalidate the cause of the protest, because the reality of the matter is, let's say this didn't happen. Let's say no protest happened whatsoever. Not even a single person protested against Israel's apartheid regime. Okay? Not a single one in the Western world. What changes? Nothing. Israel is still slaughtering Palestinians and doing an ethnic cleansing campaign. That's it. Do you understand? The people that look to that to dismiss the movement altogether are those who do not want to see how violent Israel is. They are those who are in defense of Israel. So why the fuck would I listen to a white supremacist about what the fuck they have to say about Black Lives Matter protests? Why the fuck would I listen to someone who is in defense of Israel and what they have to say about fucking pro-Palestinian protests? What the fuck? What are we doing here?
Donors. Why should we listen to these donors? The truth is that these universities have been selling influence, peddling influence to alumni for the last 50 years.
Yes.
That's the entire product that they're selling. They're saying, hey, we would like you to give us money. And by the way, if you give us money, we're going to allow you to have dinner with the president once a year.
Your stupid kid can get in.
And your kid can get in. If you give us more money, you'll have 5 dinners with the president. Now you say, oh, I don't want to give the money. Or
yeah, this is also another thing to remember. A pro-Israel organization offered payment to individuals who can blend into protests at Columbia University, specifically seeking those with keffiyehs and Middle Eastern appearance for more deeper infiltration from the Shirian Collective. Volunteers willing to wear keffiyehs and walk in those demonstrations mass. Individuals with Arabic-sounding names and Middle Eastern appearance may be uniquely positioned for deeper infiltration and will receive cash compensation for their vital role in this operation. There are so many examples of pro-Israel groups creating like those stickers, like rape is resistance, Hamas is doing rapes, and that rape is actually for resistance, and then slapping them all over the fucking city, and then only to be caught because it's such a laughable operation. It's just so fucking stupid. I'm a vet, and a few months ago I was on the verge of homelessness. When I reached out for help, I got told by every vet or government agency I called that they couldn't help me until I physically didn't have a roof over my head, and to call them back when/if that happened. That's what you get for signing up for the imperial system. Exactly. Well, I'm glad that you were able to overcome that, by the way, Chatter, but that's how it works. Government doesn't give a fuck about you. And even when you do lose the roof over your head, they're not going to help you.
Damn, this guy's good.